What's up, Nerferders? All right, we're back. We had some technical difficulties with the first one there, so our apologies with that, though. This is Bootzilla.
Big Perm.
Jbone.
And what we're talking about here is we got, halfway through the year. We've had a lot of movies come out, still a lot of movies to come, so we're going to touch base on some films coming out this year that, we're excited to see, maybe got some questions about. The big one coming out this weekend, obviously, is Independence Day Resurgence. We're not going to get into that because we'll be doing a full spoiler discussion next Tuesday on that there. Talking about the movie, talking about some of our favorite moments from the first one. So we'll touch base on all that next week. The one that we are going to kick off with here, though, and this is definitely the most controversial film of the year, and it's the Ghostbusters reboot.
Oh, go ahead, Perm. Rip it apart, dude.
Big sigh.
Relief.
Yeah. No, I've had hopes for this movie since they decided to bring it back, but it seems as though since we've gotten more information on the filming, and now that we have a few trailers, that it's just kind of gone downhill. And my biggest beef is with the cast. I just think it was poorly casted. I like the fact that Kristen Wiig is going to be the lead. She's a great actress. Love her and everything she does. Great addition to SNL. And then I also like the blonde girl. Not quite sure what her name is. The smaller blonde one. She's in SNL right now. And she's the only person that made me laugh during this entire grouping of trailers. So I'm excited for her. Not so much Melissa McCarthy. I haven't seen much of her work, but I'm just not a big fan of what I've seen thus far. And then the other girl, I think I've said this before, but she reminds me of a female Tracy Morgan. And you don't need two Tracy Morgans. So
Yeah.
So I just don't give a shit about her. And then, I don't know, just the casting in general just looks so forced. I mean, you bring in Chris Hemsworth to be the geeky secretary male version, I guess, to give that balance to the first ones, but it's like, what? I just don't give a shit, He doesn't strike me as someone who can fill the role of the female secretary version of the original. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you're trying to bring in more of a Rick Moranis parallel, it's not there at all. You know what I mean? So I just don't know why they brought him into the mix, unless it was to do some kind of weird shit like they do with Channing Tatum sometimes to make that comedy, sexy boy relief character.
That's what I'm hoping. It's obviously, I think, what the goal was, and I hope they hit it right with that.
I hope they do too. I really do hope they do it well. But.
Yeah, and I was pumped for this movie. I don't care about the female casting and stuff. I was totally on board with that. I was like, who cares? All these people that are pissing and moaning about females being cast need to fucking grow up, because who cares, man? We're all here to enjoy films and watch entertaining movies. If you can give us a good entertaining film, awesome. I like Kristen Wiig. I was okay with Melissa McCarthy just because of Paul Feig being involved with the movie. So, them two are like a home run when they work together. The blonde girl, very interesting to me in the trailers. The most interesting character by far, because everyone else is so wooden. I like when she's licking the gun. I like when she's sitting outside of the Ecto 1 and just kind of popping the bubble, just super careless, carefree. Her character is interesting to me. The one thing that stirred me wrong with this from the get-go, and still just rubs me the wrong way, is that first trailer when they started kind of hey, if X amount of years ago, 4 scientists saved New York City, and it's oh, okay, well, they're doing a callback here, so they're kind of setting up this passing of the torch thing to this new generation, and then ended up, the whole trailer, it's all a reboot. It's one giant-ass reboot. And it just pissed me off, because it was such a bitch move to do this callback to the original films, but as if it was continuity with what they're trying to do now. It's it just doesn't make sense. To me, it shows that they have a lack of confidence in this movie, where they're let's remind everybody about how good this shit was, and not watch what we're trying to do. Yeah, I wasn't down with that.
No, yeah, you make that's a home run point right there, dude. It shows the lack of confidence, right? I haven't seen Ghostbusters in fucking years, dude. I actually, her and I, we caught the tail end, the last, 3/4 of the movie, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I haven't seen I had really no idea what was going on, because it's been so long since I've seen the original. And I remember watching the trailer for this new one, and number one, I didn't find it funny at all. Number two, how sometimes you get those comedy movies, and the stuff that they show in the trailers is not funny at all. It's just not funny. You're not laughing on the inside. You're just sitting there with this dumbass fucking look on your face watching the trailer. But when you actually watch the movie, they might have a funny line, or 2 funny lines.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and like you actually physically laugh or something like that. But that's it, dude. It's not like a really cool type thing where you can like cry home to. You know what I mean? I feel like this is one of those movies. Like, I'm not gonna like if say you come out of the theater, man, you're not gonna be like, man, that was really awesome. The only thing that can kind of revive it is you bring back, Dan Aykroyd and all them cats. But even at that point, dude, it ain't gonna revive it.
They're making cameo appearances, so like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray cameo appearances. But it would have been so much more fulfilling if they were making cameos as their characters in Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna,
that would have been so much more fulfilling. Maybe they set it up where like, kind of like they hung it up, dude. Like they were done doing this shit after 2. That's why we never got a part 3. And they hung it up, dude. And like these girls stumble across that technology that was kind of like buried away forever. And it's just like, what is all of this? And then they happen to kind of like find themselves in the mix, and then they show back up just kind of like, hey, like, we're warning you. And you know what I mean? Like, something along those lines I would have even bought. But the fact that they're rebooting it, like, you're literally putting yourself in direct competition with one of the most beloved franchises of all time, as opposed to trying to do a continuation off of it where people will say, hey, you know what? It was a fun sequel, not as good as the originals. You know what I mean? Like, now you're literally putting yourself, like, in the crosshairs.
exactly.
It's almost like, here, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I also feel like, like a competition, but at the same time, like, it's like they're doing it because it shows like a lack of confidence. You know what I mean? Like it shows like maybe if we put these guys in here, it'll be like, oh man, that was a really cool moment. Like I actually really liked that movie because they showed the original people. But like you said, it's like a direct competition. The same thing can be said with like almost like Indiana Jones, dude. You know what I mean? Like if they reboot Indiana Jones, let's say for example Chris Pratt, yeah, I'm sure it'll be really cool. But at the same time, it's going to have that weird like, where's Harrison Ford type element to it. But say, for example, Harrison Ford comes in and he literally passes the torch to say, like I said, Chris Pratt, for example, it'll be a lot more fulfilling handing it down as opposed to just like, like 4 guys save New York City, and it's a complete reboot, with like a little sprinkle, a little salt and pepper of the original guys to like pay fans to fuck that shit.
Well, who wants to see the cameo of Bill Murray playing some fucking hobo on the side of the road where like they're walking by fighting ghosts and he just like for like 2 seconds? It's like, oh my god, Bill Murray! It's like, no, dude,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see that.
I mean, if you go to the IMDb, you look, everyone from the original series is going to be in this movie. Sigourney Weaver, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, they're all back, but none of them, and they're the only people on the IMDb that don't have character names. They're just in the movie. They're just they're just unscripted like additions to the movie, and that's just ridiculous.
And if they make them the characters that they were in the originals, like if they're like, yeah, this is them still, then they fucked everything up, dude. Because this trailer is clearly indicating that this is a reboot. It's all a reboot. The fact that they're exploring the technology, the fact that like they create Ecto-1, like it's all a reboot.
Isn't it true that it's the worst disliked video on YouTube in history?
I think it's the number 1 disliked movie trailer ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that's bad. You realize how bad? You realize how bad that is, right?
We'll see. Another huge movie, man. I can't wait to see Star Trek Beyond.
Can we just start off with saying rest in peace, Anton Yelkin? That was
absolutely
the harshest fucking news. Because that dude is awesome.
He's a great actor, man. Everything I've seen him in has been great,
like,
dude.
Say what you will. Yeah, I mean, say what you will about Terminator Salvation. He was a fucking good Kyle Reese.
He was good in the movie. I liked him in the movie.
I liked his character. I thought he was very passionate. I thought his delivery was really well done. I mean, the movie was just awful, but himself, he was perfect. I thought he was very, very good.
Yeah, no, I liked him.
I think everything else he's done. I mean, Fright Night, that remake, I wasn't a fan. I'm just such a huge fan of the original. I couldn't take all of the CGI additions, and I'm just not a big Colin Farrell guy.
No, I feel you.
But
he was good.
He was good, and
He was good.
Anton Yelchin was good in the movie. He was a great.
He's a very likable type of actor, man. He's one of those guys when you see him in a movie, like he's just a very likable presence on screen.
Exactly. I think
so. It is a bummer.
That's going to be a bummer.
And so young, 27.
I just Googled him, dude. That's brutal as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like how the coroner said he died.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
I'm just so like, I wonder what they're going to do next with this movie franchise now that he's, not going to reprise that role again.
Yeah.
Because he had a pretty significant role in the movie.
What was his character name?
Chekhov.
Chekhov, yeah.
Oh, he
the Russian dude.
Yeah, okay. No, I really liked Star Trek movies, dude.
Dude, J.J. Abrams turned these into just fun movies, man.
Yeah, he really did.
Fun, adventurous sci-fi films.
What's the recent Star Trek called again? Beyond.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna. I think it's gonna be an amazing movie. I think that they're taking the necessary steps to revitalize the Star Trek series because I think they're bringing an element that was never there before that makes it more appealing to more people. I think if you watch the original Star Trek movies, the original Star Trek TV show, all of the offshoot TV shows like Deep Space Nine and things like that, they're fun. I had quite a few times in my life where I was really into Star Trek, especially like with Patrick Stewart. But I think with this new franchise that JJ has started, it really just makes it more enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that hardcore Star Trek fan to enjoy it.
No, absolutely.
I think you had to be a pretty hardcore Star Trek fan to enjoy Star Trek before.
No, I agree. It was.
Man, that's brutal, dude. That's sad.
It is, dude.
That's fucked up.
Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so sudden, man. It's like before you know it. Anyways, what else you got?
Well, yeah. Star Trek. I definitely think Star Trek's going to be a good time. It's going to be interesting, with J.J. Abrams not being at the helm, which
right.
I think is okay.
Well, it's Justin Lin.
Justin Lin. I like Justin Lin, dude.
He does all the Fast and the Furious, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have its fun moments for sure. It's gonna be hard to top Star Trek Into Darkness because that was
awesome. Excellent, dude.
That was killer. Yeah.
But we'll see. They're introducing new characters, like brand new characters to like the Star Trek mythos that have not been used before. So I'm excited to see kind of what they're doing with that. We'll kind of see where it goes. See if they're going to open the door and kind of keep riding with this franchise because it's definitely revitalized.
Real quick. Speaking of Fast and Furious, didn't they confirm that they're doing like more movies now post Paul Walker?
They're filming right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're filming right now. I believe they're doing one more. Or maybe they're going to 10. I read something where they're ending. Like, they've got a definitive endpoint. I can't remember if they're like 2 more movies or if they're ending with 10. But they are filming right now. I believe Charlize Theron is going to be the villain. I think there's somebody else, too. I'm trying to remember. But I know Charlize Theron's going to be in there.
Cool.
Coming soon here, too, is another horror film, which... it's so hard to get behind a lot of these horror movies coming out these days, but Lights Out, I'm slightly intrigued by, mainly because this whole movie started because of a 5-minute short that just went viral on YouTube, and the first time I saw this thing, I was like, man, that was like expertly crafted and like better than some of the horror films that you get today as far as like creating suspense. It was a very brilliant idea. If you have not seen that short, I don't know what it's called, but just whatever you got to look for, like, Lights Out based off of whatever. Watch that short because it's incredible.
They got an official trailer and they got one called Who's There Film Challenge. I don't know if that's the one you're mentioning, but anyways, I'll check this out. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, the short is awesome. Mm-hmm. This trailer, I want this movie to be good because it's a very good concept. It's reminding me a little too much of like the movie Darkness Falls, where some of the action in the movie seems like it's going towards. And as much as I love James Wan, and I know he's just kind of like producing on this here, but yeah. James Wan is so artistic with horror, and he really knows how to deliver suspenseful scenes. But what he does, and this kind of ruined a little bit of some of the stuff in The Conjuring 2 for me, is he sets up a suspenseful scene so good, and you're kind of like on end a little bit, but he concludes it with just like over the top like horror action, where it's just like no, it's not just going to be a little crack in the wall to like make you kind of like look. No, the whole fucking wall is going to implode out of nowhere. It's like it's just it's so intense sometimes where like you're killing your tension.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I mean, I agree with that fully. After watching The Conjuring 2, I thought it was a solid sequel, but I mean, damn, that sequence where that what was that guy's name? The weird character from the little musical box.
The Crooked Man.
The Crooked Man. Where, like, the kid is kind of walking down the hall, and then the Crooked Man, like, emerges. And then it just turns out to look like something out of, like, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was just over the top.
Oh, it was super
threw me
comical.
off so much, because I was like, this is a great sequence. This kid is approaching, you know, this little teepee, and it's just like, oh my God, what the fuck's in there? And then it just kind of went over the top, you know. And to your point, I worry about that with this movie.
Yeah,
I thought, because when I saw the trailer for it in the theater for The Conjuring 2, this trailer came out, and the first sequence of it was great. It was awesome. The first sequence of this trailer where the lady is flipping the lights on and off, and every time she turns the lights off, there's a fucking creature, you know, silhouette figure in the room.
Eerie-looking silhouette,
Very
too.
eerie, almost just like some kind of weird, like, cannibal lady with, like, dreadlocks and shit. Just fucking, it scared you. It kind of gave
like
you
an
a
anorectic Neanderthal.
And then when she flips the lights on, it's gone. And it kind of had a comical twist. To be quite honest, I thought it was some kind of like, hey, don't use your cell phones in the theater
right.
campaign or something. But it was fun, but it was scary at the same time. And then as the trailer progressed, I was kind of like more and more like, oh, I'm worried.
Yeah, the thing that's kind of like throwing me off a little bit with this is the fact that it's kind of like it's not this self-contained story where it's going to be affecting one family. Like it seems like they're going to follow maybe the one family, but it's one of those instances where it's like, oh, this person's experienced this before, and this person's experienced this before. For some reason, for me, that kind of takes the horror element out of it a little bit, where it's this occurrence is happening all over. It's like when you're kind of like the first Conjuring did it so well. It's just this very confined story to this family in a home. And
based
you're
on
not
true
going
events,
outside
too, right?
of it.
Based on true events. Wasn't the second one, or is that just all Hollywood?
The second one's based off true
Oh, yeah, it
events,
was.
too.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the second one's based off the Enfield poltergeist, which is one of the most documented and, you know, historic haunting events ever. The Enfield poltergeist. Very interesting stuff. Lots of documentation on that stuff, too, as far as, like, you know, the paranormal investigators, which is... They got a lot in that movie, kind of like to a T as to what happened, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't want this movie to be one of these, like, horror adventure type films, because that's kind of what Darkness Falls was. It was, like, very cool concept, but it got a little too action-y, you know, and some of the stuff that they're showing in this trailer where, you know, people are walking around, it's just like this little dark thing and hands are coming out. It's just, I don't know, it's I don't want it to be action-y, I want it to be horror-esque, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those cliche, you know, horror films with maybe a couple decent sequences in it, you know?
I agree. That's my biggest worry, to be honest. Just from the trailer alone, I was a little thrown off. And it kind of takes you out of that element, like you said. It just it brings you out of that atmospheric horror, and that's just something I'm not into.
No, for sure. And it's any horror movie that's coming out, like, you know, I always want to just be amazing because that's my favorite genre, man. I love horror films. Mm-hmm. And, like, you know, It Follows just nailed it, man. That was such a perfect film, you know?
What was that other one you saw that was, like, really good recently? I know it was It Follows, and there was another one you guys were mentioning. It Follows was awesome.
Yeah, dude,
I loved It Follows.
It Follows
It was
incredible.
so well done.
I'm trying to, another one, like a new movie, like it was a new movie?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to waste too much time.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking like The Babadook.
I can't remember.
The Guest, which was more like thriller.
Maybe I want to say The Witch, but it wasn't The Witch. The Witch was okay. It had some like weird. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to revisit it. I thought it was legitimately scary as far as like the tense moments in the atmosphere of the movie.
Atmosphere was
and I
dead
think,
on, dude.
Oh yeah,
I think for me, I think it made me so uncomfortable.
You know what
That's
it was?
what really threw me off, but I enjoyed it. It was like, I haven't felt that way since I saw The Conjuring in the theater.
Yeah.
Since I've seen The Conjuring in the theater, no other movies really made me like tense or like worried.
Yeah.
But then when I saw The Witch in the theater, it was like, I felt uncomfortable.
You know what it was with me though? It was subtitles, dude. I couldn't understand the guy. It was so hard to understand.
Those accents were thick.
Oh,
man. They were
so
laying
thick.
it on.
Mm-hmm.
And his voice was so deep too. You know?
I couldn't understand him, dude. I need subtitles. It's some movies. I don't know. I need it. But anyways, I don't know. We'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out. I'm curious now. This is going to be you guys here because I've never seen these, but the new Jason Bourne film is coming, which is bringing back Matt Damon.
I'm so excited for this shit. Dude.
First off, hold on. Does he not have to see these fucking films or what, dude?
If you like the Mission Impossible, like the most recent Mission Impossible movies, like, fuck your face. This is going to be like up there. I promise you. The first Jason.
I wish we had a camera on that right there. He's like, the hair was doing Conan O'Brien, dude. It was doing
you were literally like Ric Flairing out there. It was like,
woo! The nature boy! Yeah, dude. This Jason Bourne, man, the Bourne identity. Holy fucking shit. Talk about like a mix between Mission Impossible and John Wick. That is the only way I can describe that shit, dude.
Really? Yeah,
like,
it really
trained
is.
assassin, trained motherfucking killer.
Mission Impossible and John Wick.
Dude, I'm serious, man.
Dude.
The fucking fight sequences, the battle sequences are like something out of John Wick, but then the whole spy and like, you know, CIA government aspect is like something out of fucking, you know, Mission Impossible. The most recent ones, the more like intense ones.
Yeah.
I love the Bourne trilogy. Oh my gosh. And then, I mean...
Did you like the one with Hawkeye? I forget his name.
Oh...
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
Jeremy Renner.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was well done. I was worried at first because I was like, okay, I like Jeremy Renner, but you're bringing out of the Jason Bourne thing. It was still just.
You know what I thought it was? I thought you haven't seen him, so you won't worry about it. I thought it was real quick. I thought it was a reboot, and in the movie, it's not a reboot. They actually pay homage to.
Well, Jason Bourne's in it.
Yeah,
they feature him as like a short little like, okay, he's still there.
Yep, and I was
And
like,
that was-
oh,
yeah.
thank God.
Yeah.
You see Matt Damon in the movie, and you're like, oh my god, like okay, so everything's okay. Like put my little doggy sweater on to make my anxiety go away, you know.
my thunder coat.
So does it look based on what you guys have seen from the movies and all, like with this trailer? Does it look like this is kind of like back in the saddle?
We totally digress from the actual trailer. Holy fuck! Yeah, dude, you got it, dude. Oh my god, this shit's gonna be fucking an ass kicking film, dude. That's what it is.
It is. Oh man, it's a wild ride. I'll tell you. This trailer looked awesome. It got me pumped. Got me right back into it where I left off. You know, the Bourne trilogy is one of my favorite like action trilogies ever.
I think.
And
when we saw that trailer, I don't know. I think it was Civil War, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were in some movie.
I don't know. It was either Batman or Civil War. It was one of the two, and they showed that trailer, and I didn't know that was coming out. And I saw, I was like, "Whoa, fuck, dude, yes!"
Yeah, so I would say, dude, watch it, man. You watch the Bourne Identity, man. You will be hooked for life. I promise you. This
like what? Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Identity, and Bourne
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That's where that famous
and then
song
Bourne
comes from.
Legacy, I think.
Moby or whoever made that song, and everyone calls it just the Bourne Identity theme, dude.
Yeah,
it's actually a Moby song, you know. It's fucking whatever.
Yeah, so no,
cool.
Super, and I'm glad they brought back a lot of the main cast. I mean, you got Tommy Lee Jones, Julia Stiles, like some of the people who have been in it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I like too.
I love Julia Stiles in the other film. She kicks ass, so it's gonna be really cool for sure.
Awesome. Well, I definitely gotta get caught up for sure because. I like the trailer, man. The trailer was like super exciting, so I could only imagine like knowing the films. We got Suicide Squad coming, new DC film.
Yeah, when does that officially drop again?
Oh man, dude, don't put me in a spot. August something. But
I thought it was October. Oh, never mind.
Is it August? It's in
August 5th.
August 5th.
Wow, that's coming just around the corner, dude.
Yeah,
it's quick, man. Like this.
Are they done filming? Are they just post production?
Oh yeah, this thing's ready to go. They've already been pre-screening this movie for a lot of people.
Real quick, didn't you say that they had to redo all these like scenes?
Well, they did reshoots, and like people said they were trying to like add comedy. I mean, who knows, man? When people say reshoots, people freak out, dude. Like they're like, "Oh my god, the movie must have screamed terrible." It's like maybe people just liked a certain thing and they want to put a little bit more of it in there. Like who knows? But the rumor is that they wanted to add more comedy to it. We'll see. I hope this movie kind of puts DC on the map a little bit. But the only thing, and I was having a conversation with somebody about this recently too. They're like, "Do you think this is going to save DC?" And it's like, honestly, like I don't. Even if the movie's amazing, it's not going to do it because people who aren't familiar with the DC, like mythos characters and mythos and all that. Yeah, like Suicide Squad is going to be so separate from what they're trying to establish for Justice League. Like, this is kind of like Guardians, right? It's like it's its own separate thing,
Yeah.
but it's here, but it's its own separate thing.
Well, that's right. I mean, you don't really. Most people wouldn't say Guardians is relatable to the other Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's tied in a little bit with Thanos. This is going to be tied in a little bit because Batman, and then like the Joker probably popping up in the solo Batman film or something. But I really want this movie to be good because there's so many interesting characters, and it's a villain's movie. Like, it's a villain's movie. That's so cool.
You know, I kind of found it interesting, honestly, that Will Smith even wanted, or that Will Smith agreed to do this role. I find it so weird because he's all about like his son and shit, that weirdo, Jbone, and it's just like, he sucks, you know?
The Karate Kid.
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever. And now he's like walking around wearing dresses and shit. It's like, get the fuck out of here, kid. But it's like, I don't know, dude. I found it weird that he totally agreed to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I found that interesting too, because he's not going to do Independence Day 2, which like he would be the man.
Yeah, I know.
And like he settled for Suicide Squad, which like he's still going to have a big role, but he's kind of just like in a cast of characters, and he's not like that focal point. It's going to be an interesting movie for Will Smith for sure. Margot Robbie though is Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah,
dude.
So excited.
Perfect casting, man. Perfect.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you know, everybody got their first taste of her in Wolf of Wall Street. And, like, listen, dude, like, she's a bombshell for sure. But, like, her acting and just her role in that, dude, she was perfect, man. To put someone up against DiCaprio in the type of role that he was doing in there, dude, she was toe-to-toe with him in all those scenes they had together, which was awesome.
Yeah, you got to bring your A game when you're fucking working with an A-lister like that.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I think that was good. Just general fucking practice, especially when you're working with Scorsese and stuff, but then you bring that over to something like a DC film. I don't know, we'll see, man.
I think she's going to be pretty kick-ass. I mean, she's really...
They show a lot of her, dude.
They do, and I think that's a good thing because I think...
People are pumped, dude. It's our first live iteration, you know?
Harley Quinn is arguably just as popular these days as Batman. Yeah. I mean, you look at comic book sales
She's like the Deadpool, dude, in a way. She's like the Deadpool of DC. Like, side character per se, but just blew up, dude, when she hit, you know?
She's got such a huge following and subculture behind her.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you look at, like, just comic book sales in general. Harley Quinn comic books sell more than any other DC book right now.
Really? More than Batman?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a new Harley Quinn series that comes out every fucking couple months, and those things sell like fucking hotcakes.
Well, the thing about Harley Quinn, dude, it's the whole idea of like having this character that's like psycho sexy. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, like it's like a turn on for people. It's like,
well, you look at
it's interesting, it's fun,
and sex sells, right?
And yeah, dude, I think Margot Robbie's gonna bring it, dude. Like everything that she's showing so far in these trailers, she's got that psycho sexy appeal to her, and I think she's gonna kill it, dude.
And you know, you get this this character for younger girls to then start kind of following. You know, you start seeing younger girls doing the Harley Quinn cosplay and Halloween stuff, and it really gives them someone to kind of like look up to as like a character, you know, this like anti-hero in comic books.
Yeah, totally.
There's not a lot of female characters in DC that are someone that you want to follow as like a young girl. You know what I mean? Harley Quinn is kind of like that badass, like she's sexy, but she kicks ass, and she's, you know, intelligent, and she's just a great like lead role. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think in this movie that's awesome, and I like that they haven't shown a lot of Joker because I think they're hiding a lot of things.
About.
I think they're hiding a lot of shit with this. They're trying to keep like we need to keep this on the down low because if you look at historically, Harley Quinn is in love with the Joker. That is part of her entire.
That's going to play in here.
So they're going to bring something huge with that. And I love that they haven't shown it yet. Like they're keeping that separate.
I think. Isn't one of the theories that like, well, number one, yeah, they haven't shown a lot of Joker because number one, it's like coming off of Heath Ledger's like infamous role that basically set the bar. I mean. You figure...
Sound like a damn gunshot went off.
Yeah. But you figure after Heath Ledger's role, it's like it's kind of like the elephant in the room now. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, that's all nice. This is all cool, whatever. But let's see the Joker. Like, that's what we want to see because that's, you know, you're comparing it to Ledger's role. You know what I mean? But real quick, isn't a theory that, like, they're out trying to get him or something? Trying to get Joker?
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea like what the Joker's role is going to be into this movie here. The one thing that I found interesting is a couple of theories is that the Joker is actually Robin. And
that's right. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and to me,
I got pumped.
that would be interesting and make the most sense. Like, he already kind of stirred away from the Lex Luthor thing, trying not to follow. I mean, yeah, you don't want to follow Heath Ledger's footsteps by saying, here's our new Joker. The other thing, too, what kind of solidifies it to me are these tattoos. Like, I'm totally cool with the Joker having tattoos. I know there's plenty of iterations where the Joker's got tattoos.
Is Damage still on his forehead?
Yeah, it is. And it's like... These tattoos, I'm gonna fucking get going.
He's gonna rip open his shirt, that fucking hairy man beast under there.
Yeah. These tattoos are a damn joke. It's a sacrilege.
It is.
They're terrible tattoos, and it's not because of like the context of it. It's just they're so pretty looking.
Well, I feel
the
like
Joker's
it's
a psychopath, man.
Yeah.
Is he gonna go into a fucking tattoo parlor and sit down and just be like, hey, like, what do you want? What do you want? I want you to tattoo Damaged on my forehead in this pretty cursive.
Yeah.
I can't buy the fact that happened. You can look at it and be like, well, it's just Damaged. But now I'm thinking about the damn backstory to it. How the hell did that get on his forehead? Yeah. And I can't buy into that story.
There's underlying themes to that tattoo.
Well, I feel like
scratch it with broken glass, dude. Make it
fucked up. I think he would look so much better if you almost took the one character from Chappie, the main villain who was a part of that rap group.
Oh, yeah.
His tattoos are all, like, personally done with, almost stick and poke styling. Like, it looks like shit. I think that would serve the Joker better than just professionally looking tattoos, because it...
More like a therapeutic, just like psychotic thing, dude, to like relieve your anxiety or stress. You're just like stabbing at yourself and you're creating whatever.
This looks like something that was sponsored by fucking Hot Topic.
It does.
Like, to be
shit.
fucking...
So and that's it for episode 2, guys. We'll see you next week.
Curtain call.
like some, I mean, fuck, man, we've all been there, dude. We've all fucking been 12 and don't understand what the fuck our life is about and what the world is. And we've all been at that stage where we're like, man, I fucking hate everyone. And I'm just so upset. And
was I at that stage? I'm 12 years old. I fucking hate everybody.
I think everyone's had that, but it's like, I don't want to
Mom, taking a bath.
Yeah. I don't want to see the character of the Joker being like that meme where it's like, parents just don't understand me. You know what I mean? I don't want the Joker to be a misguided child who doesn't understand their place in the world.
Yeah, dude, that's such a valid point.
I want Joker to be a fucking psychopath.
Do you think
who
he's
knows
Robin?
exactly where he is in the world, and he's here to fuck everything up.
You think he's Robin?
I don't know. I think either he's Robin or he killed Robin. Because in
Batman
vs. Superman, you see the Robin suit being all fucking tagged up with spray paint with Joker stuff on it.
You think with the trailers,
there's a connection.
You think with the trailer, do you think it's post or pre Batman vs. Superman?
I don't know.
No, that's a good question. Who knows where this will fall?
I don't know.
This Joker looks kind of young compared to where they're establishing this older Bruce Wayne character, though, too. So
it probably happens before, for sure. But I don't know. I haven't done enough digging on those fan theories as far as the Robin connection.
It's post Man of Steel now. Hang on a second, because there's that part in the trailer when they're first having that conversation. And he makes that comment, like, ever since Superman came around, all these freaks started coming out.
He did.
So this is definitely post-Man of Steel then, because they make that reference there, and it kind of established the fact that, like, DC is still going for this grounded reality, but there's all these, like, meta-humans, if you will, now that they've called them that. But these meta-humans that are out there, right? Like Killer Croc and stuff like that. So, which means if this is post-Man of Steel, that means if all these characters start coming out of the woodworks, which means post-Man of Steel, Batman must have captured all of them to put them all into prison.
Yeah, into prison.
So this, there's...
But then you wonder, how does that line up with the whole Robin situation? I mean, was Robin's...
But that's strictly just Joker mode. So, I mean, that could have been 10 years before.
Right, exactly. So you wonder, okay, so did the whole Robin incident that's kind of alluded to in Batman v Superman, did that happen years and years and years ago? Was that...
it's a past thing, dude. Because that's what's kind of driven Bruce Wayne's anger and fury over these years. And the whole thing with that ha-ha-ha joke's on you, it's like... Was that Robin?
It's almost like
leaving that suit where, like, he went mad, and it's just like, the joke's on you, Batman, because, like, he went mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I think that would be such an interesting play on the Joker. Give us a different take. We don't need to see the same Joker again, you know?
I agree.
We don't need to see Joker with a different actor.
It would be interesting to see the plot twist like that, though. Like, kind of like, real quick, kind of like when Harrison Ford's like, Ben! You know, and he turns
yeah,
around
you
kind of
get
like
that.
that.
Oh, dude,
when, like,
yeah.
say, Batman's in Batman mode, and he's like, you know, Jason Todd or Tim Drake, and he's saying, you know, Tim, and he turns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
be
popped
cool,
in
dude.
That'd be popped
I
in my
agree.
mind.
That
I
would be
agree.
cool if that was kind of like the reveal, dude. Where he's like, Tim, he just kind of turns, just catches him off guard. Like I haven't been called that in like however long. Or,
Yeah, right?
Like I forgot that identity type thing. That'd be great, dude. That would be great storytelling
I
right
agree.
there.
That would be good.
I'm excited for this movie. I mean, Jared Leto's Joker, I don't agree with the tattoos. Same with you.
But
everything
tattoos aside,
everything
yeah.
else, I think he's killer. I think if
yeah.
anyone was going to play this role, Jared Leto is the man.
I agree.
I think a lot of people over the years hate on Jared Leto, but I think he's the fucking man. And he always brings a performance that is just unrivaled. I mean, you look at him in Requiem for a Dream. That is one of the most passionate performances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that was when Jared Leto was a fucking kid. Like, he
Yeah.
wasn't even a fully grown man. This
he
is pre...
submerses
30
himself in
Seconds to
roles.
Mars
man.
or whatever. That was
This
before that
is
shit?
before that. This is before Fight Club. I mean, this was when he was a young dude, probably like early
In
20s.
one of the most depressing movies ever made.
Oh,
Correct,
Requiem
yeah.
for a Dream,
Yeah,
yeah.
and his-
I have it. What was it about? It was like drug
use.
Yeah, drug
Yeah.
use, yeah.
But
Heroin,
oh my
dude.
God.
Like, watch that movie when you have like a week to just like let your brain be at ease. Take a week off of work.
Yeah. So I think Jared Leto is going to kill it. Everyone else looks awesome. I mean, I think they brought a great cast and a great group of people to kind of be these meta-human delinquents. You know what I mean? So I'm super excited for how it's going to go. For
Yeah,
sure.
agreed, man. This one too, man. I'm really pumped for this. I did not care for the last movie that much, but New Underworld is coming, which is bringing back Kate Beckinsale. I'm really excited to see this because I just love Underworld, man. The first 3 movies I really, really enjoyed. The last one got a little unhinged. I didn't like how they kind of did the cop-out with Scott Speedman's character. So I really hope they kind of get things back on track with this one and we get back to kind of like that gothic vampire werewolf tale. The fourth one turned way too actiony and just kind of like lost its footing.
I agree.
I don't remember the last one, and that explains it in and of itself.
That explains
You know?
it.
Yeah. I think the first one was so damn good.
Oh, dude,
They need
yeah.
to return to that. They need to return to that just modern, like postmodern gothic style. It takes place in like
Yeah.
time right now,
That
the real
Victorian
world.
era
You know,
looking.
you don't need to
yeah,
show us
I mean,
these
blue film tint and everything. It's pretty,
Exactly.
dude. It's a beautiful film.
It is. You don't need to go back to, ancient times to show us, like, we've seen enough mythos and, like, we have enough of a setup to these movies. We don't need to know the history of these creatures anymore.
Well,
Give
this
me
is
something
definitely
moving
continuing.
forward,
Yeah, we're definitely continuing off of 4 because 4 kind of left you hanging,
Right.
with stuff with her daughter.
What did they
and-
do with Scott Speedman's character? Because he was like the hybrid, like.
Yeah, he was the hybrid. He was the hybrid there, and like so in the fourth one, they don't forget about his particular character, but they don't. It's not Scott Speedman, and they don't show it. So you could tell it's one of those things where it's almost just like, well, we're gonna go direct to video, and we can't ignore that this shit happens. We're gonna get another actor to fill the role for like a 2-second scene, just so it's like we threw it in there, and that's kind of what it was. It was this quick like 2 seconds where he just kind of escapes and like. It's like, that's not Scott Speedman,
Yeah, it was
Right.
retarded as shit, yeah.
Yeah, it was almost just like they had to do it because it's already been established, but they had no way to put it into the movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah, so I did not care how they did that, but I like Kate Beckinsale. I like the character of Celine in these movies. I'm just super pumped to see, hopefully, them get back on track, and actually put some care into these movies again.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, what was I gonna say? Who was the other female? It's Kate Beckinsale. And there's another one. There was like a third, like in the third movie, another like famous female actress.
Yeah, that was what's his face, Victor's daughter. I can't think of her name offhand now, but she was in the Doomsday movie, and
Yeah.
you don't hear much from her at all lately. Actually,
Yeah, the
but-
Doomsday Boy. I remember that.
Yeah, and she's I loved her, man, in Rise of the Lycans too, and she was awesome in the
She
movie.
was really good.
There was a very nice her and Lucian, dude. That was a hot sex scene for a movie, dude, where they're like having sex over the cliff. It's like, damn, dude, you vampires don't fuck around, dude. But yeah, so Underworld's coming. We've got the new Rob Zombie film on the way, 31.
Let me see what that is about.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that, honestly, because I saw the trailer and it looked like every other Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, that's
And-
the thing. He's got such a distinct style, which kind of works. Like, it worked for Devil's Rejects, and it worked for House of a Thousand Corpses. Did not translate well at all for the Halloween movies. I did not see Lords of Salem, so I can't pass judgment on that.
Lords of Salem was such a letdown. I thought it was going to be so much better than it was.
Yeah.
I saw that movie and I was like, fuck, I love the Salem, like, witch trials and, like, the Salem lore of, like, witches and shit. And this shit was just so poorly done. Yeah. I thought they tried so damn hard to make this, like, some kind of relatable thing, and it didn't work. And with this, you know, I mean, from what I got out of it, it's about, like, some carnies. So it's like a carnival, you know, like an evil carnival.
Oh,
and it's got that.
It's all clown type.
It's got
shit.
that
fun house.
That feel of a House of a Thousand Corpses, where you have these normal folks who get thrown into the mix, and there's just fucking chaos ensues, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's your usual suspects in a Rob Zombie film. You know, you have the usual folks who are playing the usual, you know, archetypes or characters, right? And I just feel like it's so regurgitated.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
it's very
what I'm worried
just
about.
It's like same shit, different story. And I don't know how I feel about it, man. The whole idea of just like these people running amok, and they're like in this game of, you know, you got to survive, you know. Mm-hmm. There was a movie, super low budget, straight to DVD, dude, that came out a little while ago now called Slashers. Movie I actually like really enjoyed for like a super crazy low budget film, and it was very similar. It's just like it's a game show, and you have all these people that kind of go in, and you got these killers, man, that are out there to kill you and stuff. And the whole idea is to survive, but it's this game show, so it's similar to like Running Man type stuff, but like more horror esque, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what this is giving me a vibe of slightly, you know. Obviously not game show stuff, but it's just the whole, well, we're psychopaths and we do this for fun, and I don't know, man. It's just
I don't know. I agree with you. I'm just over his style, and I'm over his excessive use of
his wife in this movie too.
Yeah,
oh, of course,
yeah,
right. I don't know. It's like I hate the fact that Rob Zombie came in and he's regarded as like this master of horror. And it's like, you're
not by any means, dude.
That's what they said too. I'm watching the trailer.
It
looks about it.
Bullshit.
It's like
dude.
from the mastermind, horror mastermind.
That's what I'm saying.
He had two solid horror films, dude. His first two movies were solid horror films, dude. And after that, like, Halloween can sit on a dick, dude.
Yeah, Halloween's 1 and 2 that he made were awful. Were just awful. And just the fact that those other two movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, yeah, they were good. They were awesome. I'll give him that. But I will never, ever regard him as a master of horror movies. Ever. Because, you know, he did something that was very cool, but when you're a horror, you know, director, you need to... You're going to have your own style, you're going to have your own taste, but you need to do things that evolve your own franchise and your own stylings. Like, you have to do something that continuously makes it more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well,
John Carpenter, every Halloween movie that he did... You know, the first, you know, couple, I mean, at least there was something to keep you interested.
Well, it pushed the story along.
That was uninteresting to me.
Yeah, it just doesn't look...
The clown shit, I'm done with that stuff, dude, you know?
Well, it's like Rob Zombie's just got this, you know, this style of, like, I'm going to be over the top, like, sexually, you know, like, over the top, like, sexually, like, disturbing, and... You know, the language and just the look and things. Just trying to be just so grotesque to the point where it's like smut almost.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? If you establish it with interesting characters, I'll buy into it. Because House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, he did so well. You got House of a Thousand Corpses, people thrown into this, like, misfortunate event with these psychopaths. And you're kind of like, dude, these people are jacked up. Like, you kind of root for these people to get out. Well, you know, shit doesn't end so well. But then he flips it into Devil's Rejects, and next thing you know, you're rooting for these psychopaths. You're like, you're behind them now. You want them to move on and, like, survive and shit. So it's like, It was beautiful storytelling. And both flip that.
And both films were just so differently done. You know what I mean? The first one was such a dark horror film. The second one almost had this, like, 70s, like, country vibe to it.
I mean, this one has,
they end the movie with fucking Freebird, you know? Like, it's got that, like, Alabama, like, really just old school grind to it.
Kid Rock, dude.
Yeah, and it's just like that's what I loved about the first two, where it's like they're both, you know, intertwined as far as the story goes, but they're both so vastly different in the way he progressed the story. And I just don't see that with this. I feel like this is just a fucking backstep to some, you know, over the top, like, blood and guts.
Yeah.
You know, with a bunch of fucking...
That's exactly what you said.
Like, I just don't give a shit.
It was like a funhouse type thing. and yeah, like the 70s, it had this like 70s like vibe to it in the desert, and they're all like fucking party.
Yeah,
let's get drunk and fucking woo. You know,
so yeah,
like it's 1975, baby. It's like, man, fucking, I'm over that shit, dude.
No, for sure, dude. Let's get into these last couple here, man, and kind of like burn through these, dude. Doctor Strange is coming. This is going to be a very different take for Marvel, for sure. Like, this is stepping way out of left field.
You know what, though? Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be like, man, how the fuck are they going to do that? How are they going to film something that's like in the galaxy in space? And they fucking did it.
They did it beautifully.
And they did it beautifully. So this one is no... same with Ant-Man, too. Like, how the fuck do you do something like Ant-Man? You know, it's like, they did that, too. Like, they see it, and they see these obstacles that people are asking, like, man, how are they going to do this shit? How are they going to do A, B, and C, 1, 2, 3? And they totally do it, dude. This movie's going to be awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah. You know, this is why it works, dude. 3 names, man. Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Tilda Swinton. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's some strong casting for this movie, dude. A lot of people pissing and moaning, dude, about like Tilda Swinton being the ancient one. I'm
she
like
ass,
totally cool with that. Yeah,
she's awesome in everything she does.
She's
man,
an amazing actress.
She's so good.
I'm cool with them.
Yeah.
You know, do something different. It's like if you want to see the same shit you get in the comic books, go read the comic books. If they do an exact iteration on screen, great. If they give us something a little different, like whatever, man.
Right. I mean, it's the MCU. It's the cinematic universe. They're going to do what fits into the cinematic version of this universe.
Exactly, dude.
And I think it fits just fine. You're going to have a movie that's like the Marvel version of Inception. You're going to see the most fucking crazy, weird shit, like dream sequences and just wild-ass, like, reality, like, different levels of reality and paradigm, you know, universes kind of combined to create this movie, and it's going to coincide, you know, and move the whole franchise forward. I think it's going to be kick-ass. I don't have a problem with anything I've seen. Everything looks so well done so far.
So Black Panther's going to be in this movie?
In Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, is that the same actor?
Oh, no, that's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Okay,
no, Black Panther is Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be fine. I don't...
Well, a couple things that I'm like pretty intrigued by. So it's like, where does this fall in the timetable, right? Like you would imagine it's kind of like continuing after events of these films, but in Captain America: Winter Soldier, clearly made a comment when they were talking about like
Stephen
annihilating
Strange.
people. Yeah, and he's like, Stephen Strange, we've got an eye on him. So he's already established in Winter Soldier.
What was that part?
That was in Winter Soldier when Shield/Hydra is like looking at people who are a threat to them, and they're going to use those mega weapons to destroy everyone who's a threat. They bring up Stephen Strange.
Yeah,
so they bring up the name.
So they already know who he is at that point.
He's already a threat.
And from what I gathered when they were first talking about doing this, they were like, we're not going to go the origin story. But clearly based on the trailer, like, we're getting an origin story. But I wonder if this is going to be one of those, like, here's current times, and it's like flashbacks to, like, how he got up to speed.
I figure that'll be something where there's like a lot of narration.
That's what I'm kind of thinking,
like,
and I think it's going to be similar with the Spider-Man movie too. They can't ignore Spider-Man's backstory. I think they're going to kind of just wrap it up real quick, kind of like how they did in the beginning of Incredible Hulk. You know, just kind of like, well, you know what? Hulk sucked ass. We're just going to get you caught up to speed through the credits here. Flip. Here we are.
Well, the thing about Spider-Man 2 is, like, a lot of people know it's just a kid who's bit by a spider, and boom, all of a sudden he can do all this marvelous things. Doctor Strange, though, it's like not a lot of people know, like, how the hell... And they'll show it. You know, obviously they're going to have to show it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see all that stuff.
His, like, how he becomes who he becomes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like... You know, like, who is this Doctor Strange? What makes him so powerful? What makes him so cool? And they're going to have to, like, like you said, kind of like do like a flashback thing, a lot of narration discussion, maybe. Like, okay, whatever. Like, you guys got that part, right? Okay, all right, moving on. This is what this motherfucker could do. You know what I mean? And, like, show that this guy is, like, the real deal Holyfield, you know? So.
Well, he's a super, super awesome character. Like, I have never read, like a Doctor Strange comic, right? Like, just Doctor Strange. But I've read a lot of comics, and I know you have. With, you know, Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange being with the Avengers and just, like, the stories with everybody together. The guy's a freaking badass, man. Like, and that's what's going to be so exciting about this. This isn't going to be, it's going to be magical and stuff, dude. So, like, the special effects in this movie, man, and just, like, the visuals, it's going to be some really, really mind-bending shit.
That's what I'm most excited for. Above the phenomenal cast, I think just the visuals are going to be really well done. And I think we're going to see something that hasn't been brought to the table yet, which is like the more spiritual side of the universe.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I think that's what I'm really excited for, to see. Okay, like, yeah, you have these characters who have these amazing capabilities, but everyone's capabilities, aside from maybe like Scarlet Witch, is all more like physical based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stephen Strange's power is more mind based. It's more metaphysical. It's transcended. You know, the ability to use your body and change into like a fucking.
Transcended, damn, it's a big ass words, dude.
Man, dude, I just took a back seat there.
Yeah. Holy shit.
That's just
dude.
what comes to mind when I think of his character. It's like he's using his fucking mind, and he's using these ancient, spiritual powers that only certain people can communicate with, like a fucking Jedi, like,
oh yeah, dude.
He's not just someone who built a fucking machine and shoots out lasers out of his fucking man-made machine. No, he's a fucking machine himself. Like, he is. I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Marvel
He's gonna
Week
kick some ass.
The Marvel Wiki says it's basically just magical energy and physical resources and shit like that. Just,
right. So he's like, well, he knows martial arts. He's got a lot of that background in those ancient Asian civilizations, which is I think that's cool. They're bringing that part out too.
Dimensional
because
travel.
You get a lot of that cool shit
What's
in
the
like
thing?
The Last Airbender, like those kind of stories. I think you're going to see something like that. You're going to see this like ancient Asian lore. You know what I mean? That it's like, holy fuck,
Well, as far as like time travel, all those kinds of things, dude. Like there's a lot of like stuff, dude, with him like being able to reach out to the cosmos, dude. And, you know what I mean? Like really kind of getting out there and having knowledge of all these things going on. Which, I mean, who knows, dude? You've already
sky's
got
the limit, right?
Yeah, and you wonder if he's going to make connection, dude. Like there's rumors of death being in this movie, which would be amazing because that would kind of just draw that line even more with Thanos.
Yep.
Right.
So there's so much cool shit, dude. Like this movie. Fuck anybody, dude, who's like not on board with what Marvel is doing, dude, because like they're doing such a beautiful job, man, giving all these characters, and it's just like they're their own concentrated stories, man. Like this is going to be something different. It fits into the continuity, and it's all building up to Infinity War, man, where they're going to have all these characters, man, with these different powers and different things, dude, all coming together for this one huge thing. This is seriously something will never happen ever again in cinematic history.
It's weird. I mean,
Never.
You mentioned, people are going to hate it and shit. Haters are going to hate, dude. You're either going to be jealous because of someone else's success, or you got DC fanboys or whatever. I'm sure there's people out there who dislike fucking Star Wars or Jaws. You know what I mean? I hate Jaws because Jaws fucking, it's like, whatever, dude. Like, you want to say, like, your opinion sucks. Jaws is the fucking shit. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. It's just I'm pumped, dude. Because then you got like the Thanos stuff, and then you got like what you were saying last week, dude. The other movie that like nobody talks about from Marvel, the Inhumans, right?
Inhumans coming, yeah.
Inhumans
they pushed that back, so like things kind of shifted a little bit when Spider-Man came into the mix. But Inhumans, hopefully, it doesn't turn into something where they're gonna just etch it off. You know what I mean? Like I hope they do it, man, because that would be another one where it's just like. You're bending the bar even more. You're bringing in some other like characters that nobody knows, like probably as rare or more rare than Guardians of the Galaxy. And
more rare.
Dude, bring it on, man. So, all right, we got a couple minutes. We're gonna talk about one more.
What is it?
This is the one, man. Rogue One.
Oh,
this is big. This is big.
It's so weird. Real quick, it's so weird that it's coming out this year, and before you know it, it's gonna be like, holy shit, dude, we saw Star Wars. Like last year in theaters. You know what I mean? It's so weird to think about.
It's cool. You know what's crazy? It's because you waited so long for episode 7, and all of a sudden it's like 7. Next year, Rogue One. Next year, 8. Now it's just like the wait's over.
They're
now we're getting them, dude. Like they're coming.
Yeah, this is going to be kick-ass. I'm super excited. I mean, I know they had, similar to Suicide Squad, they had some massive reshoots. I'm not worried about it. I heard
I'm all for reshoots.
And I heard a rumor that they had planned the reshoots like a long time ago.
Oh yeah, because they were all contracted.
Right.
All the actors were already contracted in preparation for reshoots.
Like they were like, okay, we plan on doing reshoots, so just be prepared for it. And then it happened, and a lot of people thought it was like, oh fuck, they messed up. No, it was already planned for. It was already taken into consideration. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's things we're gonna need to reshoot. It's just how movies are.
God, dude, watch this movie. Be like, watch this movie be like better than 7, because it's almost like it's like going into 4, dude. It's going into New Hope and shit. It's kind of crazy.
I think it's just going to be different.
It's crazy to think where this movie is going to stand on the timetable, because this is the first Star Wars movie that hasn't fallen into the saga per se.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is kind of like, well, we're giving you a Star Wars story that's not following what's been established. Like, this is its own little nugget, in there. And as excited as I am, I have honestly one concern with this movie, and that's the introduction of all these new things. The shore troopers that they're bringing in, like the AT-ATs, like it's an AT-AT or AT-ACT or whatever it is, like a new Imperial Walker. It's like,
that you don't even hear about in 4, 5, or 6.
That's what makes me a little nervous. Like, you're introducing these new things that are just kind of like not there, and it would make sense in an idea, right? So like, we don't see like scout troopers until Jedi because they're there for the jungle. You don't see snow troopers
because they're there for the snow. Right?
I can kind of see with the shore troopers, right? It's just I don't want there to be so much new stuff to where it's kind of like. You know what I mean? Where it just doesn't add up the right way.
You're trying to force too much new stuff down our throat to a story we feel we already know about. You know what I mean?
Perfect way to put it. Yeah.
Like we know this is what's been established. Don't give us too much more than that because we don't need it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, we know the story. We just need to see the 2-hour version of it now.
Exactly. I think it's going to be really well done, though. I mean, I love Gareth Edwards. I think he kills it. I mean, Monsters, Godzilla, very well done films. You got the Godzilla part of it, which was, okay, he's awesome at making a big epic movie, but then you got the Monsters side, which is like a great story, through and through.
Yeah,
Monsters
absolutely.
didn't have like all this big crazy shit in it. It was more self-contained to these two characters traveling. I think this is going to be a mix of both. You're going to have that
what we need, dude. That's exactly
film.
What we need.
These rebels, you're going to follow their story, but you're going to see this fucking massive like world they're a part of.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I'm excited to see the Death Star finally being built.
The Death
Death Star.
The Death Star.
I know Star Wars.
Hey, y'all do that all the
Yeah. And I'm excited for the lead. I mean, Felicity Jones, she was pretty cool in the trailer, man.
I like her in the trailer. Very interesting character.
Was good, man.
The hero shot.
Yes.
The hero shot where she turns around and the whole the hallway lights up here.
Oh yeah, I feel you, dude. When she's in like the Imperial outfit,
yes,
which is kind of interesting too, man.
Yeah,
because
it's
like
shot right here.
It's like you wonder, dude. Like, is she undercover? Is she going to be like espionage undercover, or like does something actually drag her? Or maybe she's been Imperial the whole time, dude. She was infiltrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea what these characters are all about quite yet.
That's a really good point. I mean, we know the basis for the story. We know it's rebels set on a mission to steal the Death Star plans. Somehow they need to get that information now. Now either they're going to board the Death Star. The Death Star. Or...
You can't get to the Death Star unless you sell your soul to Darth Vader.
Either they're going to get the plans from actually boarding that ship.
David Ice Reptilians.
I feel, and this is just my idea from it, is that they're going to get the plans from that whatever planet they're on where the AT-ATs are like approaching the shore.
Yeah.
Because I feel like why would you have such heavy like artillery already on a planet if you weren't protecting something?
No, for sure.
I think
something, dude.
I think something's on that planet that it's like, holy fuck, okay. It's
Pandora's box, man. You gotta.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
for 1 minute before we wrap this bad boy up here, they released the official poster. Recently, Darth Vader, man, like giant Darth Vader helmet, dude, like front and center, like, and the whole top portion of this poster, dude. How cool is it that Darth Vader's coming back and James Earl Jones is voicing him?
Is he really? It's confirmed. Holy shit, dude! Fucking. Well, there you go. You just confirmed it, dude. It's probably gonna be better than 7. Dare I say? Dare I fucking say?
It's gonna be exciting, dude.
Want to know why? Because you already, like you said, you already know something that's already established, so it's like you know what to expect. As opposed to say like episode 8 and 9, where you know it's going to be good, but you know what to expect because it's like the unexpected. It's the
Well, I think this is going to be a lot of that fan service where you're going to see a lot of these things that we grew up with. So you're going to see the vehicles, you're going to see the characters. It's going to be something to connect with. So all in all, I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the episode, talking about some of these upcoming movies for the rest of the year here. A lot of movies we're obviously excited about. Let us know what you guys are excited about. Make sure that you keep up with us on Spreaker. We will be here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time for an hour doing live broadcast. Go to facebook.com/nerfherderspodcast, youtube.com/nerfherderspodcast. Like the page, subscribe to YouTube. Keep up. Leave us comments on the pages. Let us know what you think about any of these movies. That's going to do it, guys. We will definitely do a huge Rogue One discussion before the movie comes out, and we will see you all next week. Again, this is the Nerf Herders Podcast. I am Bootzilla.
I'm Big Perm.
Jbone.
See you guys next time.